Hi, it's Chris again, and I'm back with another movie review. Now this movie is a movie that came out in the fall, and I didn't get a chance to see it because it was only out for a short while. After winning the Academy Award for Best Picture, it's back in the theaters for a short while. This review is for 12 Years a Slave. Now if you watched my top 10 movies of the year list, I said that 12 Years a Slave was one of the movies I didn't get a chance to see, that I might have included in the list had I seen it. Now I've seen it, and I could confirm that I would definitely have put it on my top 10 movies of 2013. 12 Years a Slave is directed by Steve McQueen and stars Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Fassbender, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Brad Pitt, among many other celebrities and people whose names I can't pronounce, even if I tried. This movie focuses on the life of a free man who was sold into slavery and has to deal with the atrocities that African American slaves had to deal with. And director Steve McQueen does not hold back on the brutality in this movie, which is not a bad thing, because this topic is often glossed over in history books, often sugar-coated, but Steve McQueen doesn't want it to be sugar-coated. He wants people to know the truth of how despicable people can be during this time in American history. And that's the one thing that really gets me, is the atmosphere in this movie. Steve McQueen does a good job of holding shots. There are several scenes where he just holds a shot and it's just painful to watch. And that is his purpose of demonstrating how just horrifying this time in history was. And this movie is not for everyone, in the sense that the brutality is it's hard for most people to watch. Even for me, I found it really hard to watch some of the scenes because they're so realistic and so just brutal. And that really is due to the direction of Steve McQueen. And also the performances in this movie are phenomenal. There are several Academy Award nominated performances in this movie. In particular, out of all these great performances, is that of Michael Fassbender. And he is one of the most despicable people on the planet. The movie also demonstrates how some whites were against slavery, even though it was an unpopular belief at that time. How people like Brad Pitt's character were completely against slavery, and people like Benedict Cumberbatch's character treated slaves in a more respectful way than people like Michael Fassbender's character. And Chiwetel Ejiofor gives a great performance about a man who's just willing to survive, willing to fight for his freedom, and fight to get back to his family. Due to Steve McQueen's direction and several great performances, this movie definitely deserves the Oscar hype that it got. I feel like this demonstrated the horrors of slavery better than any movie I have ever seen on slavery before, and definitely deserves to be watched by those who are able to sit through and watch these horrific acts done onto other blacks at the time. And I believe that this movie deserves a 9 out of 10. I believe this movie definitely deserves all the hype. It would have definitely been in probably my top 5 movies of last year had I seen it last year. That's a movie that should be shown to demonstrate this period of time and not gloss over it like history books might do. Demonstrate just how brutal and how just disgusting it is for blacks to be put through this kind of oppression and this kind of struggle. And it definitely should be remembered for years after. Well, that's it for my review of 12 Years a Slave. If you want to see my Lego movie review, click here. And if you want to see my top 10 movies of the year or other videos that I've made, click here. And once again, thank you for watching.